Hello and welcome to F1 Career Talks with me, Skaggard, or Retro Evolved Hunter. So basically this is a new series I'm doing. In it, I talk and I play F1. It pretty much speaks for itself. I've been wanting to do something for a while where I kind of talk about stuff, but I kind of didn't want to do it to a face cam. I sort of, I don't know, I don't have the resources. I don't think I'm really that comfortable in doing that anyway. I don't really need to show you my face. I've done it once before, and I think that was already enough. So, I'm going to speak over Formula 1, because it's fun and easy. So, here we are in Melbourne. I can't choose my setup, so I'm just going to go... Majority of these, I'm probably going to end up going with standard, because they're the basic setups, and I go too high downforce and I'm just going to struggle. If I go too low downforce, I'm going to struggle even more. So it's just keep it in the middle. I know what to expect from it. So yeah, so every episode, I don't know how regularly I'll upload these. I'm going to be doing about a different topic. This week it will be, or I say this episode, it will be about the VRL Season 2. It starts today. As I continue, I'm going to start talking. So Scary Season 2. It's going to be very interesting, to say the least. We start in Monaco, which is a very scary track to be starting a season on. And you always want to start a season on a high, and Monaco is the challenging track to do that. I mean, I love Monaco. It's a great track. And I came second in Season 1. I qualified in pole, and I did get knocked out at the first corner. But fortunately, managed to keep my car going. And I ran to the end of the race where a lot of people crashed. And I mean a lot. Like, only 2 people finished the race. Which technically means I finished last, but I did finish the race. So yeah, I think I've definitely got the ability to get pole again. Whether I can, whether I will, I'm unsure. But we'll see. I'm gonna try my hardest. I just want to get Season 2 off to a great start. The end of Season 1 was a real struggle for me. I lost my internet and had to play at a friend's house on a small TV, and I just never felt comfortable. And by the last few races, I kind of already given up, sort of mentally, on the title. So yeah, I want it this year. I mean, I wanted it last year, but I want it even more this season. And Nero's gone now, so I'm not going to say it's going to be easier, but that's definitely counting out one big factor in winning this championship. You know, it would be so much more difficult to be fighting against Nero as well. So I've changed teams as well. I was with Jokers in the Red Bull in Season 1, but in Season 2 I got to pick my team and teammate, and because I came second in Championship and Nero wasn't taking part in Season 2, I got first choice. So I went with the McLaren. It was a tight decision. It was between the McLaren and the Mercedes, and the McLaren just picked it. Probably mainly because everyone wants to drive the McLaren. And because everyone wanted to drive the McLaren, I wanted to drive the McLaren. It's a winning car. I do love the Mercedes, and I'm a big fan of theirs, especially this year. I'm following them more. I mean, my favourite driver is Lewis Hamilton, which is why I think I support Mercedes a lot more this year, because I wasn't really that bothered about them last year. So yeah, I ended up going with McLaren, and I picked Naven, surprise, surprise, as my teammate. And I'm very happy with my decision. I think it's going to be a very good. I mean, we work very well together. Obviously, that shows in the co-op, and already we've been sharing setups and stuff and stuff for this season and strategies, and we're working very close together. Me and Jokers didn't really work that close together. I mean, we did share strategies a few times, but not on such a major scale, and we didn't do it every race because we never really had the opportunity to. But plan on doing that this time round and making the most of Nathan's ability to set up a car, and him to use my abilities to set up a car too. I mean, we both have strengths in setting up a car, as we've learned. Nathan's good with gears. I'm good with downforce and experimenting with different sort of alternatives. I like to play around and experiment a lot with my setups, and I'm not afraid to sort of change it up from race to race. But yeah, going back to VRL though, the championship, both drivers and constructors, is going to be so difficult. So difficult. But I have a certain degree of confidence for both of them. Even though I ended up losing season 1 and not being too competitive towards the end, I feel a lot of that was down to the situations, getting taken off by people, and due to playing on a crappy small TV. I mean, back home, I have this wonderful 32-inch, which I absolutely love. It's not the most biggest TV in the world, but it does exactly what I need it to. I can see what's going on around me. I just feel comfortable with it, and I think it shows because my speed's just so much better. I don't know why, but it is so much better on this screen. But yeah, so constructors, we've got KPD and Banana in the Ferraris. Now that's, yeah, I mean, if there's a team to beat, then it's KPD and Banana. And Banana has got incredible speed. He hasn't quite got the consistency yet, especially towards the latter half of season 1. He did struggle a little bit with sort of crashing out, disconnections, people taking him up. Yeah, he got involved in a lot. KPD is probably the main concern in the Ferrari team. He's showing extreme consistency in season 1, finishing all but one of his races, and in all of those races he was in the top 4, I think, and that's really impressive. The only person who really was sort of that consistently close was probably me at the start of season 1, obviously before I dipped and failed. Yeah, so Ferrari, real formidable team, like the people to beat, I think. Also, we've got Godders and Jokers. Can't quite remember what car they picked, but again, Godders, extreme speed. Haven't quite seen the consistency I think he could potentially have during the season, but he came in late in the season, and you know, he didn't need to be consistent. It wasn't like he needed to. He had the ability to win because he was just in probability with starting so late in the season. But with season 2, he may step up his game, and he's someone to watch. Jokers as well. I mean, he like towards the end of season 1 was outpacing me. I'll be honest. Yeah, he was showing extreme speed at some tracks. Abu Dhabi, which he won from the back of the grid, just one of the best wins I've ever seen. So if they can get themselves together, I know if Jokers can keep his fix his connection problems, then he's going to be really good during season 2. Same with Goddard. If he finds some consistency in form, he will be really difficult to beat. I mean, his raw pace on one lap is just incredible. Like, it scares me. I mean, I feel I'm probably the best qualifier. Well, at least in season 1 I was the best qualifier, but I think Goddard could take that sort of crown away from me next season, and that's really concerning. Trying to think of who else there is. I feel like I'm missing someone. I think that's the main 6 drivers who can challenge for drivers and constructors. I think then the pack separates with the Lotus team, which is Ads and Jacko. I really should have all this stuff in front of me, it probably would help. And Jez and Apex, I believe. I can't remember what car they're driving. Nishi and Alex are in a car. They're in a car. I think it's a Red Bull. But yeah, so quite a heavy mix around. I mean, I'm confident. I mean, me and Niven both feel like we can take the constructors. Pretty confident on that. I think we have good consistency. We finished 2nd and 3rd in season 1. And yeah, so I think if you added our points up in from like collectively, like if me and Nevin were on the same team in season 1, I think we would have won the constructors. So that gives me some confidence in winning that. But I definitely think the tighter battle will be the drivers. It's definitely. I mean, it's between 6 people. It's up for grabs. 16 races, so it's gonna be tight. I'm not sure if the 2 race drop rule still exists. If it does, I mean, it's a rule I'd like to be dropped, because it punishes people more than it rewards. The whole point of it being brought in was because it meant that if you missed the race, then you would be able to, you'd still be able to compete in the league, and you wouldn't lose too much. However, if you look back at season 1, it had no effect. It didn't change any positions. It didn't give anyone more of a chance to stay in the league. It would have ended the exact same as it started. Therefore, I don't think it's relevant. I think it punishes the people up front more than. So if I, for example, consistently finished the way I was, and Nero finished behind, I would have. I think we worked this out. Is that I was ahead of Nero by about. I think it was like about 20-something points at some point in the league. I think it was by about race 11. Yeah, and that was quite a big lead. But when you took away the 2 best races, Nero was just only a few points behind me. And after, I think the race after that, he leapt me, even though I was still ahead by quite a margin. I think it was like 18 points. He was ahead of me in the final standings, which I don't quite think is fair, because neither of us had missed a race. Both of us were there for every single race, so none of us were losing out by, we made every race. So I don't understand why it's a rule that should affect us. I think it's a rule that should be scrapped. I mean, think it just punishes people rather than rewards, and that's why I don't like it. Nevertheless, it wasn't the rule that lost me the championship. Even without the rule, I still would have lost. Nero's form at the end of Season 1 was just astonishing. And it would have took a lot from me to win. Having an internet connection and my big TV would have helped, but I still think I would have struggled, to be honest. But Nero back, Season 3, time to practice. It will be on a new game as well, so we'll all be starting from scratch, which is good. Level platform gives everyone a chance, and we're starting very early on as well. I think the game comes out and we're playing the next week. Yeah, which is going to be real fun. I think potentially a lot of the back markers at the moment will be fighting up front, purely because everyone will be getting used to it. Although it depends on how different the game's going to be. I have my reservations on the new game. The fact that we've heard so little makes me believe it'll be a very kind of roster change type of game, which would be very disappointing. But I'm going to talk about that specifically in, I think, the next video I do, the next F1 career talk, because it's something I feel quite strongly about, and I find it quite frustrating. I mean, it might be undeserved and stuff like that, but I just want to get my feelings out of the way, and that'll be in the next episode, not this one, because this is about VRL. So yes, I've talked about the track changes. We're starting at Monaco, and because obviously we can own to match the start of F1 2013, the game F1 2013. We've had to drop 4 races, and that was voted out by everyone across all the leagues. We all voted in the same vote, so every league has the same track roster, and I'm trying to remember the tracks that we've lost. So Singapore was definitely a big one. Korea was the most voted track, I believe. It was a lot of people voted that out, and I can understand why. It's not the most pleasant track to drive. I don't feel comfortable driving around there. I don't feel specifically fast. It's just a bit of a dull track. Singapore was also dropped, and I can completely understand why. It's one of the worst tracks for tyre management. It's absolutely horrendous. The VRL race that we had in Season 1 was just awful. It felt like you were driving on water. The tyres went off after a few laps. It was absolutely crazy. And it was a race that was won by just tyre management. Who could keep their tyres going the most? And that was the Williams boys, who are they just excel at tyre management. I don't know how they do it. Whatever I try, all the different techniques I've done, I cannot make my tyres degrade slower. And it's so frustrating. So frustrating. It pains me that I can't do anything about it. I mean, I could try changing my driving style, but I feel like I'd lose more by trying to change my driving style. I've gotten so used to driving like this. I think if I tried to go easier on the brakes, slower on the acceleration, I'm just going to lose out more time than I would do if I just went full pelt. So yeah, hopefully the next game will fix sort of them sort of issues. Hungary is also the other track that we've lost. Again, that's because of tyre wear, I think. I mean, that's mainly why it was voted out. I mean, I feel pretty fast around Hungary, but again, I think both the Germany boys, the Williams boys, won it in season 1. And again, that was all down to tyre management. They did a 1-stop. Everyone had to do 2, at the least. And that was actually a race I disconnected from, so I could have at least got 3rd, I think. Because my speed was pretty good. But, yeah. Tyre management was everything there, and Kanaka. And my disconnection is like, I don't understand what happened. It just dropped me out of the game. I was so frustrated. Because it's an important part of the season, and Nero was already catching up at me at that point. And that lost me the championship lead. And yeah, it was all sort of downhill from there. Surprising to still be in the points, actually. So, as I've got 5 more laps to get, and I've got to hold the rest of behind me. Yeah, so season 2, I'm really excited for. I'm going to get plenty of rest before the race tonight. I am recording the races now. I'm not sure what I'm going to do about it. I'm recording them. I will be uploading them in some form. I'm undecided yet whether I'm going to release just the full video or release an edited version. Now, my argument for both is that the edited version is going to take me more time than I'd like in editing, because I have to find the best parts and go through like an hour's worth of footage. The problem with the uploading the full thing is that rendering times are going to take me about the same anyway, and I don't know what is the best, whether to edit it, spend the time editing it, or spend the time rendering it. Undecided. I think fewer people will watch a full race. Even the people in part of the league will less likely watch a full race. So probably end up being an edited version. Maybe. I don't know yet. I don't know. Depends how easy. I may try editing the first one, see how that goes. If it takes too much time, then I might just start uploading the full things. But that's to come. But it will be fun, and I'm glad I've got this recorder now, because the one thing that annoys me most about season 1 is that I can't actually remember it. Like, I forget. So I've got such a bad memory, and I forget what happens. Niven tends to like say something, and I'll be like, "That happened," because I don't know. I have a lapse. I think I have a problem with my brain. I can't record everything. So now I can actually watch stuff back, which is nice, and it'd be nice to have those memories, because some of the things that happened in season 1 were just phenomenal. Some of the overtakes, just the driving skill, some of the incidents. It's just so many things that I want to remember, and you know, I love this being part of this league. It's got me more friends, met some nice people, new community, and I have a lot of fun. Except for the final half of season 1, where I was in so much agony, dealing without the internet and losing out to Nero pretty much every race. It was just so frustrating, because it felt like it was sort of out of my control. There was nothing I could do about it. So many incidents. I mean, the last 3 races I got taken off. So I think the final race I was taken off for the first corner. USA I was taken off for the first corner. Abu Dhabi I was taken off on the first lap. And all these basically kind of killed my race because it dropped me too far back to compete with the front guys. And also at that point, because I felt like I was already losing the championship, I think I was demoralised and wasn't driving my best, and that's why I'm excited to start season 2, because I just want to get off to a good start. I mean, I'd happy be, as much as I would like to win Monaco, I'd be very pleased just getting a podium, because it's been a long time since I've been on the podium. And just struggling from the end of season 1, where I was just getting 4s and 5ths, and it was so painful, so difficult to deal with after sort of racing so well and so consistent at the beginning of the season. With my record of 8 podiums, it was just in a row. And you can see I was building up sort of confidence and speed, because my first 4 races were all 3rd positions, my next 3 were 2nd places, and then my next 2 were 1st places. And no, not my, sorry, it wasn't was it my next 2? I can't quite remember, but after that I struggled so much, and I didn't win another race until Spa, which I think trying to remember what races I won. Yes, I think Valencia. After Valencia, I didn't get on the podium again, and then I won in Spa. Again, this is my brain struggling to remember all this stuff. I've realised I keep not using all my curves on this, which is bad, because the rest is right on the inside of me, and we're going to try and late brake, but he's got me. And sadly, unless I can get him here, he's just going to soar off, and I'm going to be out of the points. Which is disappointing after I held for so long, and frick you, Senna. Just go away. I feel like Maldonado might take him off. Oh, and the Williams did actually nearly take each other off. That's hilarious. But yeah, very happy to have Nevin as my teammate. It's, like I said, it's going to be interesting. Even if I don't win, it's going to be a lot of fun. I just feel like I need to prove myself again after having a poor end to the first season, and I feel like I need to win this season to legitimately be classed as a good race, a good online race. And also, I just really want to take it to Nero again in season 3. I'm very excited for that. Very excited for that. So I've got BRS anyway, and Senna is up my inside. I'm going to try and complete this final lap of the race. The chances are we're not going to catch Di Resta, but we'll give it a good go anyway. As we're braking into this right-hander, take a bit of grass, and didn't quite hit the apex, lost a bit of time there, as we use a touch of curves just to get around that corner. Take more grass on there, some curves to get out of that corner, because we did pick up a bit of grass, which slow us down a bit, and we're onto the main kind of straight. It's not much of a straight, I know to bend, and I've also realised that I haven't been using rich fuel mixture, which is, I've got plus 4 laps, and no wonder I'm struggling to keep pace with anyone. But I know my team will be happy finishing 11th, considering they only expected me to finish 18th. And just so you know, I'm playing on Legendary, or Legend difficulty, so don't go thinking I'm playing on easy. Getting a caterer up in 11th is pretty decent. Not too not to be my own ass or anything like that. And we're about to cross the line, and we're going to weave because it's success for Caterham. It's probably the best result ever, and that's why they hired me for this seat. So, good race. Finished 11th. Started 19th. Qualifying was bad, but we did well. We did well. And Kovalainen, 22nd. Fucking shit. So, that's it. That's the end of F1 Career Talks. Thank you very much for watching. And please please subscribe. Tell me if you like this. I'd be interested to know in the comments if you like this, if you like what I was talking about. If you want to comment on anything I've been talking about, please feel free. I highly encourage you to talk. I'll reply to your questions, anything, and your ideas, and anything you want me to talk about in the future. Let me know, and I'll talk about it if I find it's an interesting topic and I can speak for half an hour about it. So yeah, so next time I think I'm going to be talking about the new game. In fact, no, I'm wrong. Next one, I think it's going to be E3, because it's the 11th and E3's just started, and once I've watched everything, I think I'll probably do a big talk about all the games I'm excited for and stuff like that, and all the news that's come out, because already it's only been day one, and wow, I'm already really excited for this next year of games. It's going to be absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing. So, until next time, goodbye for now.